Good day and welcome back to my channel. So I have another unboxing for you. This is a new kit that has found its way onto my project list. It's something I've seen around. I've seen them in different sorts of scenes and so forth. And I thought it was a really cool looking thing. You know, it's a tank truck. So it's, technically it's a Soviet artillery tractor from World War II, and it would be, a vehicle that would tow a, artillery, basically a big gun. It's essentially a tractor with a truck on it, and it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward, as far as a design goes and whatever, but to me it's unique, it's cool, it's Soviet, which is, another one of my, the things that I appreciate a lot of the Soviet engineering. So this is a company I've never seen before. So Vulcan, it's, item number 5600, which, you can read. It's a 2012 kit, so that makes that, 6 years old. 1/35 scale. If we look at the sides of the box, it's pretty much all box art. There's not a whole lot of detail, nothing on the back. So it is made in Japan. I think I saw that somewhere. Yeah, there we go. So it comes from Japan, Hong Kong. So actually it comes from Hong Kong. So it's a Chinese kit, sold in Japan, and then somehow got over here. And over here is U.S. So let's crack into the box and see what we see. So, and again, this is something I haven't had open yet, so this is new. Now, all I gotta do is get the box to open. There we go. Come on. I actually can't open the cardboard, believe it or not. So, oops, and I apologize for that. So we have a massive big bag of plastic, and we have an instruction kit. Instruction sheet. So we will set the plastic aside and we'll look at the instruction sheet first. So, Soviet artillery tractor, details about it, stuff in not English, so that's about as far as I can go. So you have a fold out, so this will be entertaining. So you have your attention, look out stuff, and then you have your sprue maps. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, water slide decals, and your color list. And Tamiya, Mr. Color, and Life Color. Looks like there's a bit of PE. You have some springs. You have what look to be Lincoln length tracks, wheels, and then the the bed of your truck. So it looks like your sprues pretty much are organized by what part of the vehicle you're working on, which is kind of nice. So let's look at steps. 1, 2, you start putting the bed together. Looks like the engine, you've got some engine detail, your drive shaft, suspension, and they're calling it out. So they're calling out your colors at the same time you're putting it together. You build up the bed of the truck, get to the winch in the back, then you start putting together your drive sprocket or your drive hub. You start putting your bogies together. So you have actual springs that go into your suspension, which is nice. Then you have your link and length tracks. So those go there. So 17, 18, and 19. We move over to step 20, which is then putting your suspension together. So it has you, it's interesting, so it has you put the links on the sprocket and your idler wheel, and then put your wheel on, then put your tracks on. So that's interesting. Having never done those before, maybe that's how it's done. I've never seen this before. So then we flip over, and we do the other side. Start doing the upper bed, the upper hood of the truck, your driver's compartment, and you can see the driver drives like you would a tank using paddles. And armor plates, windows, or your windows for the cab. Cab assembly, a cab goes onto the driving compartment. Then you have doors, your doors go together in two pieces. Looks like your fuel tank, exhaust, interesting. Your bed goes together, and then it just sort of goes onto the top, and then you see the Russian army, and you see the German captured version. Interesting. So it looks like a pretty straightforward build. Doesn't look to be too terribly daunting in that way. So let's go ahead and... So you have your parts are bagged in a bag. I'm going to see if we can look at those in the bags. So our clear parts are not very. They're okay. They're a little frosty, but they should work. They're clear parts for 1/3 to scale. They don't look to be too terribly bad. Your PE piece is very thin. Your springs are there. Your water slide transfers and rope, I'm assuming, for cabling. So that's nice. They've got all those bagged as well. So that's cool. So those won't get lost, and you can keep those separate. All right. So, and these are all shrink wrapped. Yeah, these are all shrink wrapped and sealed. So as I look at the parts, the detailing looks kind of nice. Ejector pin marks on the insides, as you would expect, but not really in places that look like they're going to cause you problems. You have raised rivet detail there on your doors, and so your doors are going together in two pieces, so they'll go together, and you put your glass in between. You sort of sandwich them together. These are your wheels, your sprocket, idler wheel. The detail looks nice. They're fairly scale thin, so it doesn't look to be overly thick. Your inside detail, your sprocket's kind of meh, but that's going to be covered up by your what you call it, tracks anyway. So details on your suspension bogies look to be pretty good. That's good. Let's go ahead and look at it. The plastic is creating a lot of glare, so let's just open it up. This stuff isn't going to go anywhere. The other ones might have, but this isn't. So there's no flash. Your mount point, I like your sprue gates. So your sprue gates are at the tip of your sprocket, and they put your kick-out pins on the sprues. So you've got a couple of ejector pin marks on those, but on your wheels, they aren't anywhere to be found. Nice. So this is your engine parts. And they look to have some nice detail there as well. A little bit of surface marring-ish. Just looks like the way that was done. So in there, you've got your ejector pin marks in your radiator. So that's a little disappointing. You've got some nice detail here. If that covers up, oh wait, actually I think that gets covered up with PE. So that, yeah, it does. So you have ejector pin marks underneath where the PE is going to go. So hopefully the PE is going to cover that up. That's not bad. Not terrible. Yeah, this looks like to be the engine parts. Engine parts and other assorted pieces of the body. Actually, that hook and everything, it looks pretty nice. That's some, you've got some fine detail there. Cutting that off is going to be nice, but you do have small sprue gates on these too, so that was kind of nice. Your sprue gates for these little tiny parts are actually fairly small, so they did take that into consideration. So with good clippers, you should be able to get all those. Nice. And this one here is the bed of the tractor thing, beastie. So you have some nice wood grain detail in there, which is really nice. On both sides, do we have? No, we do not have any. We have one right there. So you have ejector pin marks on the bottom of the bed. You have one there on the tail. But that's it. And it looks like all the rest, minor one right there, but you can, one there, one there. That's all I see. So a couple here, but you still have wood grain through it, which a little bit of paint and maybe a little bit of scraping and you can clean those up. So very nice. It's also on the inside. It's very thin. So the pieces, I think you can see that there. The pieces are actually very thin, thinner than I would expect. But it looks scale for wood. Tiny bit of flash right there, but not enough to whine about. Again, small sprue gates there for your small pieces, but you're going to have to be careful getting those off. Nice. I like that. And then our tracks. And we have, like I said, link-to-length tracks, which, you know, so I mentioned this at one point doing a different unboxing for the Soviet SU-152. I've never done tracks. You know, I haven't done armor in many years, and my experience of doing tracks was doing rubber band tracks. So any kind of track assembly is new to me, and this will be entertaining to you. So you can see you have your sprue gates on the sides of the tracks, and your tracks are, and you have your attachment pins to the outside. Well, actually, those are not the attachment pins. Those are, your pins are actually on the inside, and those are the nubs where, those are the ends of what would actually be the pins for the tracks. Like you can see them there on the edge. So it's a very nice detail. Your track detail is nice. So for what it is, it's actually really kind of cool. There you go. That is one I didn't actually pull out. Let's go ahead and pull this guy out. Since I opened everything else up, I might as well open up this one too and give it a much closer look, shall we? This is your cab. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, there's your pin marks. But here at the front, doors look good, detail looks good. Nice. It's okay. So that is the Soviet STZ-5 artillery tractor in 1/35 scale from Vulcan. It looks to be a very straightforward kit. It looks to be well designed. The instructions do not look to be overly complex. The part count looks to be fairly appropriate. It doesn't look to be too much of a challenge. The delivery of the parts was very good. I am impressed and happy with the scale of the thickness of the pieces and the detail, like in the wood grain and so forth. Got some PE parts in here. So when I get to putting this together, I'll have a better idea of what my thoughts are about the actual engineering of it. But at a first glance, if you like that kind of kit and you like something fun and different, hey, I just looking at the box and what's in this kit, I would say this looks like a winner. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this and this helps you out. If you find this on your radar, thank you very much. I give it, at least for first look, I give it a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Talk to you next time.